Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Swastika, and in this video I will be discussing with you some of the key books that you have to purchase and that you have to go through for the topic Western political thought in political science. So these books are relevant for people who are doing their BA honors or their bachelors in political science, and it is also relevant for people who are doing their masters in political science. So anybody who has and wants to do the course of political science and wants to study Western political thought in particular has to go through these books. But before I get down to discussing the list of books that you have to do and how you have to do them, I request you to please press the subscribe button, that's the red button at the bottom of the video screen. So let's get down to it. So the first book that I am going to discuss for this topic, Western political thought, is going to be this small book called Western Political Thought, discussing thinkers from Plato to Marx, written by Professor Shefali Jha. So this is one of the most articulate, well-written books in Western political thought. I strongly recommend this book because it does not create a lot of confusion in the mind of the reader and is in a position to easily explain the subject and the topic that it sets out to explain, which in my opinion achieves the purpose for which this book was written. So definitely Western political thought is a book that you should invest in, and in fact this book does not require a lot of investment because it's only for 200 INR. I bought it from GNU bookstore, but in case you don't have access to the GNU bookstore, I'm pretty sure you can purchase it online. I will try to put the link in the description box down below. So it's not something which is not easily available in India. In fact, this book has a high availability and you should definitely invest in it for going through thinkers like Plato to Marx. So one of the drawbacks about this book that I did feel were that it only discusses thinkers till Marx. There are a lot of thinkers after Marx that this book is not discussing, a lot of thinkers before Plato that this book is not discussing, and that I felt was a drawback, which in other ways is sort of compensated for because of how well encapsulated all the other thinkers in this book are. So now I am going to discuss with you how you have to go about doing the chapters from this book and how you have to basically approach this. So as you can see, if I have to talk about, let's say, Machiavelli, this book starts off with a brief description about who Machiavelli was, what his life had been like, what and how he was influenced, by what thinkers he was influenced, what were the ideas that influenced him to his philosophy. It then goes on to discuss the intellectual context. It further goes on to give us the important ideas that Machiavelli had discussed. So one of the other interesting features about this book is that on one of the pages, on the top side of the page, Professor Shefali Jha is basically going to discuss the idea. So in Marx, it can be surplus value. In Machiavelli, it can be something else. And at the bottom, she has attached the original text from where that idea was taken. So first what you can do is that you can read the original text and then you can read the interpretation and how it has been interpreted and explained by Professor Shefali Jha, making that entire process of understanding Western political thought seem extremely easy. At the end of the chapter, you will see that she has gone on to discuss the central themes that's basically surround that thinker. So in the case of, let's say, Plato, the central themes are going to be the use of justice, reason and experience in a theory of knowledge, so on and so forth. So at the end of every thinker, she has discussed the central themes, and that I find is extremely useful in terms of competitive papers because it's very well capsulated. So I think this is it about this book. Definitely you should go in for it. And I've already discussed this in one of my previous videos, but I'm discussing this again because I wanted to create a separate video for Western political thought. The second book that I'm going to discuss, and which has been useful for me throughout my bachelor's at least, is going to be this book called Western Political Thoughts from Socrates to the Age of Ideology, second edition by Brian R. Nelson. So this is also a really nice book, but it's comparatively a longer read, and it discusses thinkers from Socrates and goes on till to discussing ideologies like conservatism and the age of ideology. So the last thinker that it is discussing would probably be Marx. But what is interesting about this book is that it is not missing out on some thinkers like Thomas Aquinas and Saint Augustine, which have not been discussed in this book. So it's taking and putting forth thinkers like Socrates, Saint Augustine and Aquinas. These thinkers are generally not discussed in your political theory class as well, but you should definitely know something and a little about them because a lot of questions in your papers can still come from these thinkers. So what I feel about this book is that it's a little on the longer side of things. The chapters have been explained and in an extremely lengthy manner. So it's discussing almost everything that concerns the political thought of that thinker, but at the same point of time it's long. So it's going around for making a comparatively longer read, but at the same point of time it's discussing everything that surrounds and all the thoughts that surround the author. This is also a very easy book to read. You just have to read it once, maximum twice, and you would be well versed with the thinker and his ideas. So I would definitely recommend that you go and you buy this book as well, because though it's a longer read, it is still in a position to sort of deliver what it has promised and embarked upon to deliver. Also, this is perhaps going to be a more relevant read for people who are doing BA Honours in Political Science, because I had the course BA Honours, I had to pick up this book and I had to anyway go through it. So I think that's it. You should definitely go through it because it discusses almost everything, though in a slightly more lengthy manner. So I think that was it for today. In case you guys found this video useful, you thought that it was probably helpful to you in one way or another, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can also ask your questions in the comment sections down below, and I think that's going to be it. Thank you for watching.